I was looking at this is part two of lighthouse history, but I wanted to look into some of the history of their lenses that they use to focus light, and how it has different layers in it to beam different areas of focusing light in different layers that it shows. Um, so I wanted to go to this site here, which is another site. I want to look at a fourth order Fresnel or Fresnel lens, as it's pronounced. And by this article, the old picture as was put here on this place. This is WashingtonRuralHeritage.org digital collection. The lens lit the way around the world was invented by Augustin Fresnel, 1788-1827, young man from Normandy, a genius at the physics of light. He was the first to believe that light was not a particle, but a wave. He believed, anyhow. Actually, it is both. While he experimented with light and diffraction patterns for various shaped edges, he recognized that he needed a system of lenses and steps using dioptric, that's a new word, dioptric, refraction and perfection of what? Catoptric, that's a, wow. Dioptric and catoptric, wow. Almost, that word can be a tongue twister to me to pronounce that one. I don't know those two words, but I'll look those up later on. Reflection. Operating in a time before the Industrial Revolution in France with literally a horsepower turnstile, struggled to have manufactured the vision he applied to paper using inferior crown glass rather than flawless, heavier, and more expensive flint. He needed blemish-free glass in sizes and shapes never before made, including the first flash panel with polygonal prisms and trapezoidal lenses. Because he was plagued with defective glass, imprecise manufacturing, and poorly cast pieces, he resorted to doing some of the work himself. Ultimately, he produced his first lens in 1823 for the Cordion Lighthouse. Lauded for its brilliance, he continued to strive for excellence, combined both the refraction and reflection. The catadioptric lens, another tongue twister word. His goal was to construct or relight 51 lighthouses all along the coast of France. Fresnel died of tuberculosis with unresolved questions about improvements he hoped to bring about. His younger brother, Leonor, took over his quest and worked for the next 20 years to bring these dreams to fruition. The lights he created were from the largest first order, visible for more than 40 miles, to smallest sixth order for small harbors in 1855. The Paris Exposition Universal unveiled the first order, fully revolved primary catadioptic lens, a bust of Augustin Fresnel, and a fresco by Jean-Leon Jerome depicting 16 countries where Fresnel lenses were in place. Within 100 years, more than 10,000 such lenses were in operation. Meanwhile, in 1853, the U.S. Lieutenant James Alden, for whom Alden Point is named, commanded the surveying steamship Active, for which Active Cove and Active Pass are named. Prior to the settlement of the international boundary, and was first to identify Patos Island as the likely place for a lighthouse, while the Patos Island fog signal station was installed there 40 years later. It took another 15 years for the fourth order Fresnel lens light to arrive. According to Clarence T. Titterington, a coastie on Patos, has a weird name, on Patos from 1951 to 1953, the light had glass prisms, a 300-watt bulb, floating mercury to keep it level, producing 40,000 candle power, and could be seen 7 miles away. He thought it was one of the only two lights like it. The other on the East Coast, today it has a modern lens, automated in 1974, which flashes a white light once every 6 seconds and has 2 red sectors marking dangerous shoals off the island. So that's Washington Rural Heritage on this fourth order Fresnel lens for Patos fog signal station. I wanted to look into. This is not in Washington. Well, maybe it is. Maybe it's in Washington because it shows that this is a heritage site with digital collection. So it must be somewhere in Washington. So there you have it. The fourth order Fresnel lens for Patos fog signal station by Edry Winfinson. It's a pretty good article.